Hello YouTube, welcome to another farm video. Now in this one, I decided to not really do it just from like left to right. I decided to farm Espa Roba because I wanted some of his psychic cards. Because of a deck I'm thinking of making around psychics. So what I did was look up, well first thing when I want farm decks and I'm not really sure about what the character's all about, I go on and I look at the farm decks that are online, and a lot of them there's a fair few of them out there, but they all require you to have anti-magic arrows, I noticed. Why do they require you to have anti-magic arrows? Because of Espa Roba running pulse mines. Pulse mines is something that can change your monsters to defense position if they have a machine type monster in the field. It becomes really awkward to sort of deal that final hit, that final 10k damage right at the end, if they're just going to pulse mines you and then you're donezo. You can't do anything. So it's all about how can you deal with that pulse mines. Anti-magic arrows during the battle step means they can't activate it. So there's one way, but I didn't have that. So I found another way. I just said, well, here's my card pool. How can I deal with the pulse mines? You can't really target it with a card, because if you target it, they can just activate that in response to them being targeted. So things like, you know, Twister or double Cosmic Cyclone don't really work because they can just activate it, right? So this is what I went with. If you have 6 SAMs, you can do it pretty well. So what I'm running is just 2 Kizans, just 6 SAM cards that can consistently get out your Xian. And why do you want Xian? You want Xian because Xian can also negate those pulse mines. It can negate things throughout the duel as well. If they try and brain control you, if they try and tribute to the doomed your monsters, it just constant negate throughout the duel, shuts them down really well. And those are the kind of cards that they have. They have like a brain control, tribute to the doomed. They have equip spells that can boost the attack. So we can shut all of them out down throughout the duel. We have the Kizans. This can bounce in some scenarios. If you're really in a pinch, you've got the bouncing effect. You've got some high defense sort of monsters around sort of the 1800-2000 range, so it's not terrible. You've got some draw power. It can make the farm a bit faster for you. And we're running the Union attack variant, 2 Union attacks, the Secret and the Vassal, and a couple of dual wields. Now obviously you can't use dual wield if a Jinzo was in the field, but it can still be helpful in some situations. So yeah, speed it up. We've got Fuma protection in the grave. Again, if you can't, you've already negated and then they tribute, you have protection in the grave from tribute to the doomed. And the 2 Xians, which is what we're going to have at the end, is a boss monster that's bigger than Jinzo. Again, I'm running Field of Warriors. I was tossing up with where I wanted to run Restart to make our opening more consistent, but I also like Field of Warriors just because it gives me a bit more assurance on my monsters and a bit more survivability in a pinch. And again, 2 Xian is 5,000 attack. The Union attack times 2 is going to give you 10k onto your Gravekeeper's Vassal, which is going to be enough for the farm, which is what we're aiming for. So I really like this. You don't need anti-magic arrows. It's nice to have a variant that doesn't require it, as I didn't have it, and I don't really have the keys to farm Arcana. So this is a nice alternative I found, and I'm gonna, hopefully, I haven't lost with it yet, and I hope that I don't have recording a bad luck. It hasn't failed me yet. I had a really close instance where I kind of bricked, but I still managed to claw it back. I got out my 1 Xian eventually, and from there it just sort of snowballs. So let's see. What's our opening hand gonna look like? We are going to have Xian turn 1, plus draw power, plus a dual wield. And we're going first. So we pretty much win. I want to tell you that right now. We pretty much win. So when you summon Secret, this can special summon because you summoned a Secret 6 Samurai monster. This gives you a 1-star and a 4-star that you can summon your 5-star Xian with. And having a negator this early pretty much locks it in. Although what I should do is draw first. Always draw first. Alright, no other Uniteds. We just go for it. And we'll set a dual wield. in case they like do some insane activations and I use up my negate and I need a backup. There we go. We are very much set. This is very good. Now, I don't tend to just set him up. I don't just play a 6-Sam for no reason and hope, well, next turn I'll play Firma then Synchro. There's plenty of ways of just doing it all in one turn, and so that's what I'm going to go for. If I get a Kizan, that works. If I get... if I get a Kizan or another Legendary Secret, that'll be good. Now you do kind of need some draw power because again the Scrap Recycler can thin his deck. That's potentially the only real problem I see with losing with this. Well, not losing, but just a slightly awkward situation is sometimes you don't draw your Uniteds at the right times, and so they deck thin a lot with Scrap Recycler and you don't get to draw all your cards before they do. But it's such a small problem. So again, we just sort of, we are one card ahead of him. Now we're even, technically. If he has another Scrap Recycler, we'll be behind one card, I think. So we have that. And I'm going to hold off for one turn, because if I draw United, that's just best case scenario. If I don't draw United on this next turn, I'll have to start milling cards. So I'd rather just summon a second Xian. Okay, that's fine. Because we are even. If he was ahead of me, I would wait. But we are just even right now. So here we go. Second Xian. If it wasn't locked in already, it's definitely locked in now. Double negate. Negates Pulse Mines. We have double Fumba Protection in the grave for Tribute to the Doomed. If he tributes to the Doomed, we aren't going to negate it, we're just going to protect ourselves. Because he can just sort of build up a lot of spells and traps and just try and use them all at once. We don't want that to happen. He's going to use an early Pulse Mines. He's only got two on his backline, so he just wasted the Pulse Mines. He only wants 2 in his deck, so we don't need to worry about double Pulse Mines on the final turn. Only one. Only one Pulse Mines on the final turn. It's looking very, very good. It's looking very, very, very good. And he seems to be broken, which is great for us. We have this Econ. Just on the off chance he's going to summon a Reflect Bounder. Although, if he does, we might actually be tempted to crash into him, because it could give us a comeback victory for extra points. Dual Wield's kind of been turned off now that we have these two on field. We don't need to worry about the Dual Wields anymore. 5 cards. We aren't going to negate it. No. We're going to Fumba Protect. Just in case. I almost screwed up there, but we can go back. Okay. As you can see. Tribute to the Doomed. Don't negate it in case they want to sort of capitalize on you using up your negates. It's not impossible for that to happen. I'm not really sure if the AI has that insight, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And that's his only copy of Tribute to the Doom that he runs. So, now we have 2 Unions and a Vassal. We just need our Secret. 3 cards left. 3 cards remaining. It doesn't really matter what we ditch. So as far as what his backline could be, he could be running Brain Control and 1 other Pulse Mines. And the other one could just be an Equip. And we have the double negate for the 2 sort of more significant things. So we're still absolutely fine here, despite the triple backline. I love Espa Robas. And I love Psychics too, so I'm really hoping to pick up some decent cards from Psychics. And sort of see how it does on the ladder. Last ditch. And here we go. Vassal. Secret Pass. Double Union Attack. Gets you over 10k damage. Swing in. Doesn't even activate. Too easy. We had double negate. We aren't scared. We have no reason to worry in that situation. So super nice. I found it to be very consistent. It hasn't failed me yet. And I've used it a fair bit. And we pick up an ultra. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So I hope you enjoyed. Again, it is also kind of like, well, I just haven't opened up Warriors United, so I don't have those cards. It's more just offering another option that you don't need anti-magic arrows for, because sometimes you haven't farmed Arcana. You don't have that card, and it can just sort of chain where you want to start farming, but you don't have these key farming cards. And just like, okay, well, I want to do this farm. Oh, I need anti-magic arrows. Well, I want to do this farm. Okay, nope, you can't do that either. You need to farm Arcana. Well, I want to do the Arcana farm, but I don't have this card. It just sort of gets out of control. So something like this, that it's a bit unconventional, can sometimes just help you get kick-started and then help you farm cards, and, you know, it can cycle from there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next farm video.